Welcome to The Explainer. We're going to talk about something today that trips up even the smartest, most talented people out there, that first-round aptitude test. We're going to break down a simple 15-day plan to make sure you walk in there not just prepared, but totally confident. So let's just start with a bit of a reality check. This quote from Geeks for Geeks, wow, it hits hard because it is absolutely true. You could be the best coder in the world, have a portfolio that's just incredible, but if you can't pass that initial screening test, none of it even gets seen. I bet this feels familiar to a lot of you, right? That feeling of knowing you're perfect for the job, but getting knocked out by a test that feels like it has nothing to do with your actual skills. It's just so frustrating. But here's the good news, okay? This isn't some impossible mountain you have to climb. It's a standardized test, and that means it has rules, it has patterns, and with the right game plan, a structured approach, you can absolutely beat it. So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about the great filter, why these tests exist. Then, we'll get into your 15-day battle plan. After that, we're deep diving into the quant section, then logic and language, and we'll wrap it all up with the ultimate strategy. All right, section 1, the great filter. So why do companies even do this? Why do they put up this wall that seems to screen out so many good people? Well, you gotta think of the aptitude test as the company's bouncer. When you get hundreds, sometimes thousands of applications for one job, they need a quick, fair way to shrink that pile. So, this time test is basically a check to see if you can think logically and quickly under pressure before they even talk to you. And here's the most important thing to remember. This test is not trying to find the next Nobel Prize winner. It's looking for people who came prepared, people who can manage their time and apply simple logic to problems. Seriously, success here isn't about being a genius. It's all about strategy. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. Section 2, your 15-day battle plan. This is the roadmap we're going to follow, inspired by the pros at Geeks for Geeks, to get you totally ready in just about 2 weeks. Now, look at how this is structured. You start with data interpretation for the first 3 days. Charts and graphs, to get your brain warmed up. Then you hit the big one, quantitative aptitude, for 5 straight days. After that, you've got logical reasoning, and you finish strong with verbal ability and, this is key, full-on practice tests. All right, let's talk about the section that makes everybody nervous. Section 3, cracking the quant section. I know, this is where most of the fear comes from, but I'm going to show you that it's way more about knowing a few clever tricks than it is about being a mathlete.
I mean, you see a list like this, and yeah, it's totally normal to feel a little bit overwhelmed. Numbers, percentages, profit and loss, time, speed, and distance. It feels like you have to go back and learn all of high school math again.
But you don't. The secret weapon here isn't being a math whiz, it's knowing the shortcuts. Think about it, the test is timed. That means every single question is designed to be solved fast, but only if you know the little trick behind it. Let's take a super common one, the time and work problem. You know this one. If person A does a job in 10 days and B does it in 15, how long will it take them together? Now, the old way involves a bunch of messy fractions in algebra, but the new way? A simple trick using the lowest common multiple, or LCM, that lets you solve it in, like, 25 seconds. So, let's just walk through it real quick. Step 1, find the LCM of the days, 10 and 15. That's 30. Let's pretend the total job is 30 units of work. Step 2, figure out how many units each person does a day. Person A does 30 divided by 10, so 3 units per day. Person B does 30 divided by 15, so 2 units per day. Together, they do 5 units a day. So, how long does it take to do 30 units? You just do 30 divided by 5, and you get 6 days. See? No fractions, no algebra, just easy math. So your quant toolkit really comes down to 3 things. 1, practice to figure out exactly what you're bad at. 2, memorize the shortcuts for those specific topics. And 3, time is everything. Every time you practice, you need to have a clock running. The clock is the real enemy here. All right, let's move on. Section 4, we need to decode the other parts of this test, logical reasoning and verbal ability. They test totally different skills, but the strategy is actually kind of similar. It's all about knowing what to look for. So here's the breakdown. For logical reasoning, it's all about finding the pattern. Your best friend here is patience. Don't just guess. Look for alternating patterns or simple math connecting the items like adding or multiplying. And for verbal ability? Yeah, vocabulary helps, but really focus on grammar rules. A lot of the time, you can find the right answer just by spotting which options are run-on sentences or have a subject that doesn't match the verb. Okay, we've got the plan, we've got the tricks. Now for the final section, the ultimate game plan. This is all about pulling it together and getting your head in the right space for the actual test day. So, you've done the 15 days, you've memorized the shortcuts, you know how to spot the patterns. You are ready. But there's one last thing, one single step that's more important than anything else.
That's right, more than any single formula, more than any vocab word, there is one thing that will make or break your performance on test day.
It's practice. It is all about practice. Look, knowing the LCM shortcut is great, but having done it so many times that it's just muscle memory, that's what wins. Practice turns knowledge into speed. It's what builds the confidence so you don't panic. That is the real secret.
So, you see, this aptitude test, it's not a wall designed to stop you. It's just the first hurdle you're supposed to jump over. And with this plan and a whole lot of practice, you are more than ready to clear it. The only question left is, what are you going to do once you get to the other side?